So my day of travel yesterday was pretty non-eventful. Nothing really to note. I always try to do back roads, stay off the main highways, which is kind of nice. I get to see more of the country that way. And northern Texas into southern Oklahoma is quite pretty, rolling hills. So it was a nice drive. I did hit some pretty good rain when I got into Oklahoma. For about 20 or 30 minutes it rained really hard. I got to the camp and not overly impressed with my initial entry. I came in and it's a pretty densely packed camp. I think they have like 83 RV sites here, and they're on different loops. And when I came in on my loop, I was kind of surrounded by other campers, and I kind of like more aloneness than being so close to where everybody can see each other and hear each other. Didn't do much yesterday. I drove in to a little town to get some ice for my cooler. I like to have ice cold drinks, so I do have a cooler, even though I have a refrigerator in my RV. It doesn't get things quite as cold as I'd like them to for drinking purposes, and I get tired of always filling ice trays and all that. So anyway, I went to get some ice and drove around a little bit, and there are some nice sights around. And when I woke up this morning, some people have cleared out, so it's not quite as crowded as it was yesterday when I got here. That's good. I'll panorama around a little bit, and you can kind of see what I mean by how close the trailers are. So there's my little setup right there, and you can see, I mean, literally, not 50 feet. Another trailer set up there. And then on the other side, you can see there's a campground right there, and there was a trailer there last night. It's since moved. And then back here are some other folks. So you can see everything's pretty close and densely populated here. So there are some really nice sites that aren't quite so compact like that. But the problem is when you sign up for these sites, unless you have a history with the property, you really don't know what you're going to get. So some of them have some pictures, but even the pictures, don't really tell you or show you exactly what it's going to be like. So, I picked the best I can, and I thought about moving. There are some couple nice sites that are empty, but I'm just going to stay where I am. So I've kind of frittered away the morning. I haven't done much. I read some papers and kind of got caught up on some things. So I think it's about almost noon now, 11 or 12. So I'm kind of going out in the hottest part of the day. However, it's not as hot here in Oklahoma, and I don't know if it's just a freak thing right now or if it's just not as bad. The humidity is better, and I think the high today is going to be like 88. So certainly a lot better than 96 or 98 like it was up near Fort Worth the other day. So anyway, I'm going to go out on my bike, and I'm going to try out some of these trails. That's the other thing, is the trails are pretty far away from where I am. The maps aren't really very helpful as far as telling you what the trails are and where they are and that sort of thing. So I'm going to kind of just wing it here and see what happens. So like I did the other day, I'll kind of chronicle my journey, and we'll kind of see how things go. All right, so I just pulled out of my campsite, and I have to go over to the main highway for a short distance and then get on this other road, which is not a park road. I don't expect there'll be much traffic, but as I said, I'm just going to have to kind of wing it and see what happens here. I'll let you in. It doesn't seem to be quite as hilly as Lake Mineral Wells was, so we'll see how that goes, but I'll check in with you in a little bit. Well, you can see they've got some road crews working up here. That's the road that I'm going to need to go down, so hopefully it's accessible to me. Well, that actually wasn't the road that I wanted. It's the road right up here, you can see. So it doesn't look like it's going to affect my ability to get on there, so we'll see how it goes. So here's the other road. I don't think I have very far to go on this before I see a trailhead. This is the road I came down last night to get my ice, so we'll see. There's a sign So the trails will be just up here off to the left. I had a nice long decline getting here, so that means I might have a nice incline on the way back when I'm going to be a little fatigued and all, so not looking too forward to that, but we'll see. Alright, so let's see what we got here. South Trailhead. This recreation area is not nearly as clear. We've got trails and all this state parks were. Here's a map here though. Let's see what we got here. So here's the map. I'll zoom it in as best I can. And you can see it's not real clear. So down here is where I was in this loop C. So I came out here to this main road and I came up and then I got on this road. So I'm right here. And you can see where the trail kind of hits here, and it's going to work its way on up along here, and it goes all the way up. So I don't have any idea what the scale of this map is, so I have no idea how far this is going to be, but I'm going to go. Well, I couldn't find a trailhead. There was a construction worker, and I asked him, and he really didn't know, but he said there were some signs down here that had like 1 and 4 on them. So I figured that must be it. So I went down that gravel road, then I saw this sign that said 1 straight, 4 over here to the left. So I decided to take the road less traveled, which is what I'm on now. So hopefully I won't regret it. It's pretty rough already, but we'll see. So the trail opened up a little bit. You can see how I'm going now. So it's a pretty nice trail. It's pretty rough, but you know, most of these outside trails are going to be a little rough. But it's got some pretty nice scenery. So I think it's going to be fine. So I don't think I'll have near the amount of excitement that we had the other day, but I'll let you know. So there have been some pretty steep and rocky declines. I've gotten off to walk a couple of them. I guess being old and skittish, I'm afraid of falling. See, like I just got into this rut here. So let me get out. So I'm back on the trail. It's going to be a little more challenging than I thought. On a steady incline right now. So here is an example of what I run into quite a bit. You can see it's got a fairly steep decline, and then you kind of hit a bumpy area and then a pretty steep incline. So I get nervous on these because notice all the little loose gravel. So normally, for me anyway, again, for experienced mountain bikers, they're probably laughing at me, but for me, I slow down because I don't want to be coming down in there too fast and lose control and crash. But when I slow down, there's not very much good grip on that gravel, so I kind of slide a little bit. And same thing on the other side, a little loose gravel, so it's hard to get traction when I got to pedal uphill. So anyway, this is probably the 5th or 6th one like this that I've had. I've tried to ride a couple of them and almost lost it on one of them. So again, there's not really any people out here, so I'd hate to fall and need assistance. It might be a while. So I got up through that, and I don't know how clear you can see on the camera there, but you can see there's a nice little incline waiting for me up there. So I think this is going to be a pretty challenging ride. So I made it to the top. You can hear me breathing. So, like there's a fork in the road here. Going off to the left. Trail 4 says it's going up there. Down that gravel road. So there's also a little bench here. I'm going to take advantage of it and catch my wind and look at the map and see if I can get a better idea of where I am. Well, again, let me zoom in here a little bit. So here's Trail 4 right here, and I think that's where I am right there. So gravel road up that way, gravel road back down this way. So I'm going to go down to the right here, and then I guess depending on how I feel, if I go right I can head on back, but I don't want to head back this early. But on the other hand, if I go left, you can see there'll be quite a ways I'll have to go before I can work my way back. That's what I like to do. But if the trail is like I just did, it's gonna be a tough day. Of course, I could go left here and come along this way, back around, and then depending on how I feel, I could come back if I felt like I needed to. So maybe that's what I'll do. But I'm not sure why they are encouraging you to go to the right here on Trail 4. That's where they have the sign, so I'm afraid that might be an indication that it might have some pretty good obstacles. Anyway, probably boring you. I'll let you know what I decide. Well, I made a command decision here. I'm a glutton for punishment, but I'm gonna take that left side. You'd think I would have learned a lesson yesterday, or a couple days ago. But I should know the name of the author, and I can't remember, but remember the road less traveled. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I'll let you know how it goes. So I've been on this for a bit. I'm not gonna take the camera off, but you can see off there the lake. So I'm gonna get that map out and see if I can find the placement here. As I came down this road, it just didn't seem like I was heading in the right direction. But I don't have a compass, which I should get, but I'll let you know. Well, I really have no idea where I am. I looked at the map, and if there should have been any water, it would have been off on my left, but the water here is on my right, so I have no idea. Well, now I look at it, it looks like the trail ends right here where I am. So let me figure out what things are. Well, I guess I just had a nice diversion. And it was a nice view of the lake here. The road wasn't too bad, so it wasn't that big of a physical commitment. However, most of it was decline, which means I have incline on the way back. So let me get back to where we were. Well, I'm back where I was. There's my resting bench, and there's the trail. I'm gonna take advantage of the bench and catch my breath, and then I'll hit the road. Okay, I'm off again. We'll see how long the gravel lasts. Check this out. Long decline and a steep incline. Can't wait. Well, I struggled up that incline, and then there was another one, and I think this is that fork earlier. Notice how it splits left and right. So I think this is probably where I thought I was before. The maps they give you just aren't very good. So I've got a little shady spot here. I'm gonna cool off, get some water, and catch a breath. Nice view up there of the lake. Don't know how well you can see it on the camera there. Well, I took that left fork like I wanted to back there. You can see the lake's up ahead of me on the left. This is where it should have been. So we might get some nice views down here of the lake. I have to slow down these gravelly hills. Get too much speed. One little calculation. Down you go. So that was a nice steady decline. You all been riding with me enough now to know what that means. So sooner or later I got to go back up. Get a nice view of the lake up ahead. Guys, this road dead ended too. I'm at the end of it. But you can see, like the other one, pretty damn pretty down here at the lake. But it sure would be nice if they had a little bit more accurate maps that we could go by. Really nice little alcove area back in there. Be nice to have a little rowboat or something. Well, I've got that big long incline to get back up to where I was. I'm probably gonna have to walk some of it. Don't think I'm gonna be able to make that. Well, you can see where I've come from. I rode it from the bottom there, I don't know, maybe halfway, and I couldn't do any more. So I got off and caught my breath, and then I walked it up this last hill here. Another little plateau, but you can see there's another incline up ahead. So I'm just not in the physical condition for this kind of thing. It's a good lesson for me though. When I take my big trip up to the northeast, I want to do some riding so I can get myself in a little better physical condition. Well, I'm back at the crossroads here. I'm just going to go ahead on up ahead. I think I'll stay off of the unmarked paths for today anyway. Alright, adios. So I've been on this part of 4 for a while. It's been this gravelly road the whole way since I got back on it. Pretty good road. It's pretty good balance of inclines and declines. Yeah, so checking in. It's been a while. Probably gonna hit that crossroads on Trail 1 here shortly. And then I'll have to make a decision on where to go. I will let you know. Well, guys, this road dead ended. Really freaking irritating. They really need to improve their maps. I was thinking maybe there's a turn off of the gravel road, but I didn't see one. Sure don't see one down here. So a little irritating. It's wearing me out before I even get halfway to where I was hoping to go today. Alright, well I'm going to head back a little bit and see what I find. So check out that bullshit. There's a sign right there. Trail goes off to the right here. So I need to make a decision on if I want to do this or not. I'm gonna look at the map and see where I am. I'm feeling pretty tuckered, and I think the heat's sapping me a little bit. So let me make a decision. I'll let you know. All right, I'm on Trail 1 now. I'm gonna head back. I don't know if you can see the horizon up there. Got a pretty good view. So, a couple things set me back today. One were all those bad turns I made. I mean, they weren't bad rides, but I had them all up, and there was quite a bit of distance and exertion that I could have saved for one of these rides I wanted to do. And the other thing is, starting in the middle of the day, definitely not a good idea. I really know better.
guess sometimes I think I'm a little stronger and tougher than I am. Anyway, I'm gonna make it back, take it easy for the day, and tomorrow, if I'm up to it, I'll wake up early and come do the rest of this trail. So if anything worth sharing pops up between now and getting back to my trailer, I'll share it with you. Well, that's where I went in this morning. This little lake is right across the way. Very nice and relaxing. I wish there was a nice little shady spot that didn't have a bunch of thick grass in it. I'd lay down and relax a little bit. I don't know if you can see all the fuzz. I don't know what the proper term is on that tree there. Pretty remarkable. Anyway, I'm going to head back that way, and that's when I'm going to have that little incline ahead of me. So looking forward to that. So on my way back to my campsite, down at the foot of this Loop C, which is what I'm on, got some nice sights and views down here. And you notice I look at this, remember back when I went on that dead end, that second one, and I said there looks like a really nice alcove back there. It'd be nice to have a rowboat. I believe this is it. So that means I was somewhere way over there on that far bank. I don't know, it'd be fun to maybe get some binoculars and see if I could figure out where I was. Anyway, give you an indication on how much distance I covered today. And I'm feeling it, I don't mind telling you. Well, I've been back for about 30 minutes, sitting in my chair, relaxing. I've got a nice ice cold Gatorade out of the cooler, trying to recoup a little bit. Got tuckered out there. I think the heat got to me a little bit more than it did the other day. Of course, it's in the middle of the day, which I discussed earlier wasn't a real smart thing to do. So, recap today, kind of disappointed. The maps just aren't real clear. Let me show you on the map what all happened today. So, you can see this is where I came in, and this is the gravel road, and then that was that first turnoff I made on a Trail 4. And then remember, that was where I thought was that first turnoff, and I went left and hit the dead end, came back, thought I went right. Well, now I'm confused now. Anyway, twice I took this left fork. No, that's right, because the second time I took it, remember? But I missed this turnoff right here at Trail 4. I kept going, and I hit a dead end down here. So I came back, and it seemed like it was all an incline. I didn't remember that going down. But I was ready to head back at that point. But then when I saw Trail 4, you can see, really wouldn't have been much different coming that way to Trail 1 than going back the way I came. So that's what I did, and it worked out okay. Trail 1 was actually pretty good. So tomorrow, if I'm up to it in the morning, I'm not going to wait till noon. I could go up this Trail 1, and if it's like it was at this part, that'd be a pretty good ride. So I could go up here, maybe all the way to the top, which is kind of what I wanted to do. Trail 3 up there, and then kind of work my way back. So I'll see how I feel in the morning when I wake up. Maybe that's what I'll do. So I'm just going to sit here for a few minutes, and then I'm going to fix me a bologna sandwich for lunch, and then just relax and enjoy the day. It's really quite nice out here. Humidity's not as bad as it is down south where we are. Lots of trees, so the shade, and there's a little bit of a breeze, so really it's pretty comfortable out here. So I will probably wait and do another video for you tomorrow or the next day. Adios.